It is Friday, and we're back with a brand new board game for Rants and Review. This is the Escape and Solve mystery game from Clue called Sabotage on the High Seas. So these are mystery boxes where you basically are going to try to solve a mystery in a box. I know when people think of Clue, they think of that board game where it's a kind of hidden clue game. We're deducing and moving around the board. But this is more of an escape room / mystery in a box. It can be played with 1 to 6 players. About 10 and up they recommend, and it takes about 90 minutes. This is their 2 out of 5 difficulty, so it's not like 1, but it's not middle ground even. So it's a little bit easier than most other ones. But let's open it up. Let's see what comes inside, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. 2 pieces of tape here to seal the box. And boy, is that well organized. Stop, don't touch anything from this box. Choose your most dramatic player to read the text below. You've accepted an invitation to an all-expense-paid vacation aboard the Lady Marigold II, the luxury yacht owned by Captain Melville and home to the most sought-over casino in open waters. You all have your own reasons to be there and thoroughly enjoying the opportunity to play and get to know the captain. Take out the deck of character cards and have each player select one of the 6 characters and take the color matching pawn. Then take turns reading the back of your character's cards aloud to the group. If you're playing with less than 6 players, you should read aloud all the character cards. Choose a different player to read this text out loud. During a cocktail hour in the Starlight Lounge of the top deck, Miss Peacock and Dr. Orchid wander to the railing of the boat to take in the last rays of a dazzling sunset. Suddenly, Peacock screams. You rush to see what the matter is and spot the captain face down in the water several yards away. You all look around wildly and notice a storm rolling in from the east. Quickly, you need to find a way to save Captain Melville and get him back on board before the storm arrives. It's time to play. Take out the rules out from under the sheet and read the quick start. Do not remove any other components until instructed to do otherwise. Alright, so here in the box we have our character pages, and then you have your actual pawns. So it looks like we have the traditional Clue characters. We've just taken them out of their settings from being possible murderer Mr. Body, and now we're on the high seas. Colonel Mustard, Mr. Green, Mrs. Peacock, Dr. Orchid, Professor Plum, and Miss Scarlet. So unlike the inclusive Clue before, these entirely are different. I mean, like, you've got some real all over the place vibes here. Like, Miss Scarlet is so, like, now. Professor Plum is like, I guess I want to say, like, maybe 90s professor. Dr. Orchid has got that weird striped line design that was going on in the early 2000s. You got You Can Do It, Miss Peacock. Miss Green looks like they came out of the game Bully. And then Colonel Mustard literally walks out of the 50s? I don't know. that ascot. I mean, the character design is great, though. But, like, it's very interesting. Oh, here, these are actually better represented. You can see them better there. But yeah, very interesting for the characters. Matching colored pawns, of course. So you play with them. I don't know exactly yet how we deal with moving around the board, but we'll get to that maybe in a second. The problem is I don't want to reveal too much of the game because I don't want to spoil it for you. But you do have tutorial deck, deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4, and just decks. Deck 5. Then under here, though, you have the actual rule book, which will take you through the actual game. Youngest player moves first, takes turn, rotates to the left. You may take several actions. Move your pawn to an unexploded number on the game board. Take the card from the deck that is a matching number. Read your card aloud to the group and do what it says. If there are any actions listed on it, if it's a puzzle, lay it on the table for all to see, and you find all the pieces needed to solve it. For more information about the different types of cards you'll encounter, see cards. If there are any available puzzles on the board, you may attempt to solve them. Remember that anyone can solve a puzzle at any time, and you should absolutely collaborate with your fellow players. When there's nothing left to do, play passes to the player on your left. Okay, so to start, pull out board A, which represents the Starlight Lounge and is also the tutorial board. You pull the tutorial deck, you place all the players on the board, and then the players can, in theory, do things going on to it. So they can move to a numbered location on the board, like say for instance 2, then you pull out 2 from the tutorial deck to see what the result is. Then as you proceed forward, you would reveal further board, like the bridge. And then you would reveal further board, like the casino, lower parts of the ship, and so on and so forth. So it's very interesting how they build out an actual board for you to move your pawns around. I don't know if you would really need to move your pawns around, but it's interesting that they would include that feature into the game. But yeah, so generally you're going to be going around this board trying to solve for this murder, and I actually really do like how they design the boards. To give you an idea, maybe we can see in the tutorial deck one of the things they use. We'll pull out 2, like we said. So you number cards to match the spaces. So say you go to 2, you pull out 2. Go after Miss Peacock spots Captain Melville overboard, you rush to the telescope to get a better look. The waves are carrying him further away, and he doesn't have a life vest. Quick, you need to assemble a flotation device to throw to him and pull him to safety. It's a narrative card, just a narrative. So say instead we went to 3. The hot tub is slipping away, just waiting for someone to grab the decorative rope around the edges and climb in to relax. This is a puzzle card. The answers to the puzzle are always a number. Puzzles often require multiple pieces, and you'll need all of them to solve. Keep this card face up on the table while you look around for other pieces. And so the next one, just to look at the board again, we would go, let's go 4. You rummage around the storage chest, hoping to find something useful and to help the captain. You dig a multi-tool. You can use it to pick a side and overlay it on the top of another card. And this is the multi-tool. Do not discard. It has multiple pieces, so you can choose to lay this over, and that would be basically 10, card 10. Or you can lay it this way, using it as a screwdriver, and you would get 19. Now, there is a 19 and there is a 10 in this card. So if we were to use the knife, which would give us the 10, we would receive a sailor's knot. You cut the rope from around the hot tub now, and you need something to find that floats. Take card 11. Discard puzzle L1. However, if we use 19, we use the wrong side. We try to use the screwdriver. Using the screwdriver side of the multi-tool, you attempt to unscrew the panel of the hot tub to use it as a float. Turns out the screws are decorative, and it's all one piece. You'll have to try something else. So that didn't work. But using the knife, you actually can hold on to this as a tool to use throughout the game. We were able to discover number 11, which is a rope. The ropes, tie knots by threading rope through the loops in order. 1, 4, 2, 6, 5, 3, 1. If you exceed, you'll have a number knot. So the next thing we go through is number 5. Looks like this party boat isn't properly equipped with life vests, just pull floats. You grab a flamingo floaty and blow it up. It might be the only option to save the captain. Pretend like you're blowing up a pool float until the end of the player's next turn. You take card 7, and that is an actual pool float. 1, 4, 2, 6, 5, 3, 1. Because it's an 8. If you draw it on there, it's an 8. Okay, which means 8. Solve floats away. You grab the rope from the hot tub, fasten it to the floaty, and cast it out to the captain. It bumps against him, but he doesn't grab it. Does this mean the captain's dead? Suddenly the boat jerks to the side. No one's driving. You need to rush to the bridge to get to control of the wheel before the vessel crashes into something. So now, these are all done. You can discard this whole deck, but you should definitely keep on your tool, which is the multi-tool, to move forward in the game. All in all, it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of facets to multiplayer, very similar to a lot of other puzzle-solving games. But for the most part, your energy level is going to be a little bit different because you're dealing specifically with like a murder mystery aesthetic, which is really cool. If you're a fan of games like Clue or just mysteries, this would be a really good fit for game night for you and your group. The only downside there are to games like this is that once you've kind of played it, that's kind of it. There's no real additional playthrough. You can always play with new friends and kind of be like their GM or DM as you go through the actual process, but it does kind of lose its joy for you directly. But it could be still a really nice experience or something you can pass on to someone else. Hopefully you guys found this interesting. You pick up one of these escape room boxes for yourself, and we will see you guys next time.